Hi, and welcome to Lisa's Stamp Studio. I'm Lisa Curcio.
And my name is Gina Curcio Holly, better known as her daughter.
Today is Monday. It is July 25th. The year is 2022, and we are streaming live right here on YouTube.
Better than that, it is her birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
And we are doing a special birthday bash celebration, and we've been celebrating all day long, but now it's time to celebrate with you. And one of the things that we're doing today is celebrating with a free PDF tutorial. So basically all you need to do is place any $25 product order before tax and shipping using our monthly host code. And besides all our other ordering rewards that you get normally, you also get a free PDF tutorial of your choice from our PDF tutorial library, and that's of any amount, and we'll send that to you via email so you can pick your favorite. What else are we doing today?
Well, we got lots of fun planned for you. This is not like our normal live stream.
No.
We're doing some extra fun stuff today. As part of the birthday bash celebration, we want you to stick around for the live Q&A at the very end. And I have some viewer cards that were sent to me in the mail to wish me happy birthday. And I want to share them with you as added inspiration. You're not going to want to miss them. I'm going to be capping some of these.
Yeah, they're super nice.
They're really, really amazing. And thank you all for the wonderful wishes. Now, a couple things about tonight's live stream. We have an incredible panel Z-Fold Fun Fold card. You got to see that slow.
Yes, very slow.
Because it is incredible. I'm demonstrating. And we have a total of 6 samples to share with you. The great thing is about the project sheets.
Yes, and you're not going to want to miss that because all 6 samples are going to be housed in that project sheet for free download in the video description below. And it includes full color photos, cutting dimensions, and supplies that we use for all 6 of those cards.
Absolutely. It's a great resource for you. And I put a template in there for you for tonight's Fun Fold card. I also want to take a minute to remind you that we love to interact with you. Whether you are here live streaming with us for the chat or you are watching the replay, log into your YouTube account, which requires your Gmail address. It's on YouTube.
Not on us.
It's not on us, so please log in. And then finally, we want to take a minute to introduce you to tonight's moderators because obviously she's here and she's not moderating tonight. So first, you'll see in blue Bob Curcio's name, better known as Bob the Builder or my husband.
Or my dad.
He's here to help moderate. We also have Marion Linhart.
Yes, and you're going to absolutely love her. She's a part of the Stamp Studio team. And although my dad knows absolutely nothing about stamping, Marion knows everything about stamping. So if you have a question that's stamping related tonight, feel free to ask her in the live chat. Or if your question does go unanswered because she is only one person, feel free to reach out to us at lisastampstudio.com. Click on that contact button and we will be happy to answer that for you.
Awesome. Now, before we get started on the stamping part, I want to talk to you very quickly about this. Time is running out, my friends. Party with the Stamp Studio is going to be on Saturday. It is August 13th. We are going to have lunch. We're going to have an open Q&A. There's going to be demonstrations, make and takes, and did I mention product prize patrol? And I have to tell you, they're abundant. You're going to want to join us. This is an in-person event here in Florida, but we want to meet you and we want you to meet each other. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. We have people attending from all over the U.S. You can get all the information about this $30 event with a $5 add-on for the make and take projects if you'd like them, as well as lodging and travel information over on our website. Head over to lisastampstudio.com, click on shop, and then you'll see Party with the Stamp Studio and just click on it. All right, let's get stamping. All right, let me move those buttons out of the way. It's dangerous when it's 2 of us.
Yes.
We are going to start with some cutting and scoring first. Now, I'm going to bring in a tool you probably haven't seen me use a whole bunch. This is called the Simply Scored tool. It's good size, so the whole thing doesn't fit inside your camera view. But there's a place down here to hold your stylus tool. And I love this, especially if you're doing a ton of scoring, especially if you're making multiples, because it goes very, very quickly. Yeah. Now, this first one is really rudimentary because it's your basic card, 5.5 by 8.5. I already scored it in half at 4 1/4, so that's all ready to go. The next piece is going to be the panel or the Z-Fold. Now, this is measuring 4.5 by 8.5. Now, I do want to remind you that all the cutting, scoring, dimensions, and the template for this are in that free project sheet, which will be down in the video description below. We are going to do some simple score lines, and I'm going to explain to you why I'm showing it to you on the Simply Scored in just a moment. The first score line is going to be at 2 1/8, and that's going to be that one notch right here past the 2. Now I know you got a little bit of video glare there. I don't know if I can get rid of that because of the studio lights, but I'm going to put my stylus tool right here inside that track, and then very slowly I'm going to slide down so it's going to rest inside that groove to make the score line. We're going to move over to 4 1/4, and we're going to do that again. And then just one more score line at 6 3/8. So 1, 2, and 3. And I'm following that track, and we're going to go straight down here. You may be wondering why I made this black line down the center, because if you ever have to score on the diagonal, this will help you to maintain the track. That's just a little tip for you. And again, as I said, that scoring tool goes right down here in the bottom, and that's lickety-split wonderful. Now, there's something else we're going to need to do with this, and that's going to require some cutting. Now, you might recall me saying to you, well, why are you using the Simply Scored and not your trimmer? Because you might recall that last score line was 6 3/8 of an inch, and it falls right inside of here. And I knew, one, it would be impossible to see.
Yep.
And two, it's not really well marked. So I want to show you. If you're using the Stampin' Trimmer at home, it is literally this black area right before the silver marking. That's the 6 3/8. You'll notice that I've already marked my 6 1/8 on here. Once you become familiar with your trimmer, easy peasy. Now, the next thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to measure down 2 inches on one side and make a little tick mark. Okay, so I've got my favorite little pencil here,
Yeah.
Gina. We get so many emails and comments about this pencil. It's nothing special, my friends, other than it's the best pencil you'll ever use in your craft area. It has an ultra soft tip, and the eraser is a champ. I have it linked for you in my craft room favorites under shop on my website. Now, since I don't want to take out another tool in order to cut and measure, I'm just going to use this. So I know I need to measure down 2 inches. So I'm just going to rotate this. I'm going to come up here against that straight ledge here at the top. There's also one at the bottom. I'm going to close that clear cutting track. This is a champ because you can see right through it. Many cutters don't have this. With that mechanical pencil now, I can go right inside of there and I can make that tick mark. Now, I realize that this is white cardstock and it's well lit, so it might be difficult to see. I am going to cut from here to that upper left corner. That's all you need to know. That's how simple this is. But this is where the magic of this clear cutting guide comes into play. So I'm going to rotate this so that the very bottom is here inside that black strip area at the bottom of your screen. And then I'm going to close the door. And now I can kind of manipulate my paper without getting my head in your camera view, and make sure that that tip is there so that we have this lined up the very best that we can, and then we're just going to cut. This you can save for scrap or you can just ditch it. But that now is going to give us the angle that we need for the rest of our card.
Can I share a tip real quick?
I can see. She was antsy. I can't see her, but she was so antsy.
Can you pass me the trimmer one more time?
Okay, here she goes.
So for those of you who don't have the Simply Scored, or for those of you who are like me, and when I found out that I had to make the last score mark at 6 3/8 and I couldn't visually see it, I was like, there has to be an easier way of doing this. So there is. So once you make your first 2 tick marks, which is 2 1/8, 4 1/4, all you have to do is do a 180 and put it back in at 2 1/8 and do another score, and that will be your 6 3/8. It's a little bit of a trick, a little bit of a tip to make your life easier, but I'm not a math person, so that's a little tip there.
She's always trying to show me up.
No way.
You know what I just realized? That I didn't score it. I thought I did, but I didn't score it. So I'm going to score that base at 4 1/4.
Awesome.
All right.
All right, let's go ahead and start folding these, because then we need to fold it in a particular way.
Yes. Now, obviously, this is the base of the card.
Yeah.
So we're just going to fold that in half.
Using my favorite tool ever.
Yeah, the bone folder.
The bone folder.
And I'd like to make sure my ends are even, because if you're like me, none of us scores perfectly, right?
Yes. And it's kind of important for this card, too.
Yeah. So,
all right. So I'm using basic black.
I'm using
basic white. Perfect. All right. How do you do yours?
I went in.
Okay.
And then I accordion folded. And I know you're probably already gasping at me. By the way, I want to make sure that you all know I'm using thick basic white for this. I wanted this to be really nice and sturdy.
Nice.
Really important, I thought, when you did this, make sure that this is all nice and flush. Because sometimes your front is not scored right and they're going to stick out.
Yeah. So you did yours like an accordion. I just went from the middle first because I knew that needed to be my inside. and then I fold it in on each side.
Again, this is why we love demonstrating together. You learn 2 different ways, and then you can decide what's easiest. Your cutter may have a nice sharp blade like mine, and every once in a while you might notice that edge is slightly raised from the blade. Take your bone folder and go straight across it, and that's going to mash that down so it looks all nice and even. It's actually going to go like this. So it's valley, mountain, valley. Okay, so do you see it? It looks kind of like an M. All right. Let's work on the front of the card first. Then we've got some tricks for you on the Designer Series paper panels you're not going to want to miss.
Yeah, don't miss those. All right, what are you using tonight?
Tonight, ooh, I'm so excited. Look at this absolutely gorgeous paper, okay?
Ooh.
No, that's pretty, but I mean, the other side is even prettier. So
What
let's
is this?
let's talk about this.
Yeah.
This is called Wonderful World. But you're like, you didn't use a stamp set. That's paper. That's because the paper and the stamp set are actually free selections right now during celebration. This is a $100 level purchase. So if you place an order for $100, you can choose this of your choice if you want for free during celebration. Now, celebration goes through the end of August. I want you all to know that these are only available while supplies last. And I know some of you are already like, oh no. Yeah, don't wait. That Designer Series paper is absolutely gorgeous. You'll get to see more pieces of it
And what
tonight.
I love about that one is you actually get the stamp set and the
paper.
Yeah,
you get both.
You don't see that often.
Right, no, and I love it because wait till you see this in action tonight. You're going to love that. So I'm going to start by putting these 2 pieces together. What do you got?
I'm actually going to be making a Halloween card tonight.
Ooh, fun.
We got a lot of requests for that last week, I saw.
did.
So I just thought this would be a fun opportunity to do that. I'm using Celebrate Everything Designer Series paper. It is double-sided just like hers. I love the Celebrate Everything paper because it literally does what it says, celebrates everything from Christmas to fall to Halloween to 4th of July.
It does everything.
To simple patterns like the one on the back of this starry that I got right here. So I'm just layering mine, and you're laying yours double, right?
I am. I made it just a 1/8 of an inch layer difference on here just to play up that rich raspberry. Isn't it pretty?
It's beautiful.
So pretty. So obviously this is going to go on top. Same with you?
Well, I just had one layer.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to, oh yeah. Okay. So I do have to tell you, I decided to up my game a little bit tonight because you're always trying to outdo me.
Yeah.
I have a bonus card tonight.
Huh.
So it's not in the project sheet. It's just for the live stream for the birthday bash.
Do.
And wait until you see it. It's pretty awesome. All right, so this is going to go here. I am a big fan of layers.
Yeah.
It just really adds an awful lot to your card.
That looks great already.
Okay. All right, let's move now to decorating the front.
Let's do it.
Okay. So you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll do first. Okay, I'm just grabbing a piece of scrap paper because I forgot that part. Alrighty, so tonight I'm using Best Witches. If you know me, you know I love whimsical stamps, so I couldn't overlook this one.
Cute.
She's adorable. It's great for kids. It's great for kids at heart, which is me. And so I'm going to be using her.
Cute. That little frog.
And you're probably going to ask me already, do you have to cut her out? And the answer is yes. I know there's fussy cutter haters out there.
Well, you don't have to.
It is my life mission.
I know.
To convert those who hate fussy cutting into loving fussy cutting. But all I'm going to do is just stamp her firm, even pressure. She is a larger stamp. So make sure you get into those fine detailed pieces like her hair. Take your time with a stamp this large. And it comes out beautifully when you do.
Awesome.
Now, I have her colored already. Don't worry, I'm not going to do the whole thing. But if you're new to coloring with alcohol markers, I do want to give a quick tip. These are the Stampin' Blends from Stampin' Up. We have a light and a dark. There is a pen side and a brush side.
Right.
I like using both. I don't use just one or the other.
I do too.
Because sometimes you need a little bit more definition or a little bit more space. And so it's good to switch it up a little bit. So there is no right or wrong way to doing this. You can do the light first or the dark first. I personally like doing the light first because I can then easily add shadowing and shading with the dark without having to overcompensate with the lighter color. Okay, so I'm going to put that down. It is alcohol based.
Right.
So you're going to have to let that just dry a little bit to evaporate. I'm now going to use that pen side. I just used the brush side. So now I can be a little bit more tedious about where I'm shading and how I'm shading. And the best way that I shade is just by following the lines that are already there through the stamp. And I'm going to let that dry again for a second.
The alcohol has to evaporate.
I'm going to come back in. I'm going to use my brush end with my light. So all we're doing is switching back. And now I'm going to be pulling that color, that dark, into that light. And it's really important that you don't scrub, that you just pull.
Right.
And then
keeps you
once
blending.
this evaporates, once you're done cutting it out,
She is so cute.
she's going to look a little bit like this.
Oh my gosh,
and those blends do it all.
Yeah, they make you look so professional.
They really do.
That's awesome. Now, is she the only image you have?
She's not. I also went ahead and did a little froggy, who
gosh.
also comes in that stamp set.
So cute.
And then I added these bats, and you're probably wondering, where did these bats come from? And that comes from Scary Silhouettes.
Oh my
gosh, it comes in a bundle,
awesome.
which you can get with Scary Cute, which that stamp set is adorable as well. But what I love about just dies in general is that you can mix and match them.
Right.
So I was like, I don't necessarily want to use Scary Cute, but I do want these bats. So I went ahead and just mixed and matched, pull them out, and these are the pieces I'm going to be working with tonight.
Awesome. Well, mine is actually been die cut. So I took a piece of white cardstock and I used the Scalloped Contours dies, and I used the third from the center, and I die cut my scallop area. Because the stamp set, as I already showed you, is really elegant and pretty, but I wanted multiple colors.
Gotcha.
So sometimes people look at this and think, oh, can markers work? Yes, dye-based markers. Oh my gosh. We have gotten people who have emailed us and said, I used my alcohol-based markers on there and ruined my stamp. That's correct. You will. So don't do that. Dye-based markers. But I want to show you an even easier way. So I've got 3 colors. I've got Orchid Oasis. I'm going to open that up and put that here. Rich Razzleberry. You'll remember that was part of that layer on that designer paper. And Mossy Meadow. Now I chose these colors because they're actually representative of the designer paper. Yeah. So cheat and use that as your discretion. I have a separate sponge dopper for each of the colors, okay? Don't overthink this. It is not intended to be perfect. It's intended to be pretty.
Yes.
Okay. So Orchid Opulence, oh my gosh.
What year was that?
That was, I don't know, probably 2014.
Well, you just dated yourself.
I just dated myself. Orchid Oasis. Yes, we've had orchids over the years with Stampin' Up. So I'm dabbing on the color. I always recommend lightest color first. And then I'm going to come in with the Rich Razzleberry. And now some of the colors, obviously, that are close to the color of the rubber are not going to be as easy to see when you're dabbing them on. I'm obviously a lot closer than you are, so I can see where I'm going. You're going to see I'm working pretty consistency here quickly because I don't want that dye-based ink to dry, all right? And then we're going to do what I call the Darth Vader technique. Okay, she's giggling because she also knows all about what that is. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to huff on it. With my breath, turning that paper sideways because I can't do anything straight to save my life. And then we're going to do lots of firm, even pressure, and then we're going to lift it.
Beautiful.
Oh, was that not gorgeous?
You gotta hold that
I got to hold this up. Okay, let
Yeah.
that focus. This stamp is distinctive, which means it was made to look more like a photograph than a stamp image.
And it stamps beautiful.
It stamps gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
And it coordinates with that designer series paper like a champ.
Yeah.
All right, so let me clean up my mess so that you can move on to starting yours, and I'm going to start assembling mine as well.
Awesome. Well, I am going to go ahead and do a little bit more stamping.
Okay.
But not much. I have actually a tip to share because I do have a greeting on the inside of this card. You'll see that it says Best Witches. It is elongated, but because our card on the inside has these little tiny panels, this would never fit.
Right.
So I said, why don't I just create something that does fit? So let me show you a quick technique. Do you have that
Right there?
Perfect. All right, so all you're going to need to do is get some Scotch tape. And then you're going to make a tab because this is going to make it a lot easier for you to pull off.
This is my favorite tip in the world.
Now, I'm going to mask off the words I don't want to stamp originally. And right now, that's going to be witches because I'm going to be stacking these on top of each other. Just press on that. Make sure you get it on there because you don't want it falling off when you mid-ink this up. Then all I'm going to do is ink up it. Really important. Pull off the tape.
Oh, gosh, I've done that.
And throw that away. Then, all you're going to do... Can you get that for me?
Oh,
it's
wow.
not wanting to come off.
Wait, okay, there we go.
And then all you're going to do is just stamp.
Oh.
And then
you're cleaning your stamp.
Clean it really good because you don't want anything to transfer.
Yep.
I'm going to make sure that's off and clean. You can see not all the way.
Sometimes you have that residual ink from your scrub.
Right.
Right? So you're going to want to make sure that that doesn't come to the paper.
And then all I'm doing is grabbing another piece of Scotch tape, making that same tab. And now I'm going to go ahead and cover Best. So this time when I do it, I'm going to get Witches. Ink that up. Really important. Take off that piece of tape. Throw it in the trash. Now, do your best you can to line this up. If you could see me right now, I am basically...
She's kissing the table.
Kissing the table, horizontal, and it looks just like that when you're done. Now, a big tip, because I did cut mine out and layer it, what I did was I stamped it more in the corner, then cut it out with the trimmer to make it my life easier.
Right.
And if I messed up, then I had some more paper to play with.
Right.
It actually is very, very easy to do. I didn't have to redo this at all.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah. It looks great. And that's a great way to take images or greetings and mask off part of them to use them separately. Really maximize your purchase.
Yep.
I cut a 1/8 of an inch layer in that same rich razzleberry. And I'm going to add adhesive to the back. I'm looking at this going, I'm almost at the bottom. I brought in another roll just in case. So I'm just going to border this on here. What are you doing?
I am just layering my little girl and the frog onto a die cut piece. This is simply, no, I always
Stylish Shapes.
Stylish Shapes. I think
what year was that?
Something else. I don't know. Stylish Shapes. It's the second to the largest shape square.
When you've been stamping with Stampin' Up products as long as we have, it'll be 24 years for me and 24 for you too. Yeah. So you have years of different things in your head.
Yes.
While you're doing that, may I talk about this?
Absolutely.
All right. I am going to gussy up this closure. Yeah. Okay. So I am going to put dimensionals on this in a very strategic location.
Okay.
So I'm going to work strictly in the four corners. Okay. If you're going to end up doing what I'm doing, keep that in mind. Gina's doing her closure a little different. And don't forget, we have several other samples to share with you and lots of viewer cards too tonight. I'm using my Take Your Pick tool. I love that paper piercing tool attachment to remove those little paper backings because with my arthritic hands, that's no joke. That really hurts to try to take them off. I opted for no greeting on the outside just because I thought this was so stunning, okay?
Love it.
This is obviously has an opening in the center for a purpose. Now I'm going to go ahead and move these ink pads out of the way so we have a little bit more room as we move forward with the rest of our demonstration. Now the inside of this card is really a big deal, okay? Oh, look how cute that is.
Doesn't it come together cute?
Yeah, let's talk about this.
Yes, this is the precision tip glue bottle. All we did was put green glue inside of it.
Right, that was this.
This is on our Craft Room Favorites.
It is.
We love it.
Love it.
You can get super tiny details.
Yeah, love it.
Even tinier than that. And the best part about it is that I can do this with ease. You can use your Take Your Pick tool if you need to as well to lift it back up. And you can just do detailed dies really easily.
I love that. So if you're not a big fan of adhesive sheets or you don't have them, the precision glue applicator, this is the bomb. Again, in our Craft Room Favorites. On my website under Shop, Craft Room Favorites.
Yep.
Everybody who's bought this loves it.
Yep.
A little tip about it, make sure that you squeeze it between your silicone craft sheet, which of course we both adore that thing. And there's a little silicone cap here that keeps it from drying out. And now what are you doing?
I'm just going to layer. What are you doing?
Okay, so I am going to move on to the inside panel. Do you want me to do that?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. All right, so you'll recall this. All right, now I'm going to tell you right now that designer series paper was so pretty that I could not avoid not using it here.
Yes, I love
now
it.
We have numerous samples for you, and each one of those is slightly different and shows you variations of how these panels can be used.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you right now, I have tried a gazillion different ways to cut this so that it looks decent, and Gina and I both agree that the cheating method is the best.
Yes.
So I'm going to recommend that you just make this as flat as possible. Obviously, I creased it to teach you how to crease it. I'm taking this very first panel, and I'm holding it here. Now, the dimensions that I gave you in your project sheet are all sized correctly, okay? But they're going to be a tad longer than you need. I measured these out to have a 1/8 of an inch border. So what I want you to do is I want you to kind of center that designer series paper where it would go if you were going to adhere it. So you can see how I have a little margin here and a little bit here by the score line. Take your handy dandy pencil and make your life easy. Give yourself a little line here about that same 1/8 of an inch and another 1/8 of an inch here. And I'm making them kind of dark. I know you can't really see them, but let me come in with my trimmer. And again, here is that clear cutting guide. That's going to be our champ. Okay, let's find Lisa's pencil marks because she got old today. Oh my goodness gracious, where? Oh, there they are. I can see them now. You know, when you're on printed paper, it's kind of challenging, isn't it? Okay, so let me line this up. I've got one here and one up there. Let's make sure we're closed. That looks pretty good. I'm going to be close, and we're going to slice. All right, that just cut off a little tiny bit, as you can see here, which I am not going to need. But then this is going to come here. Look it.
Awesome.
Is that not just famous?
That looks beautiful.
Now the beauty is about the next panels.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to waste your time. I did adhere those ahead of time. I'm going to talk to you about adhering them. That's an important tip as well. Once you have this corner done, it's going to mimic this corner.
The next, yep.
So when I went to do the pencil mark, I made that pencil mark here and made it a little bit shallower here. Don't try to measure down and cut. It's too much work. Too much work.
Yeah.
And for this, my friends, I use liquid glue.
You did.
My nemesis.
Oh my goodness.
This is also in my craft room favorites for you.
Yep.
I love it because it holds my bottle upside down, so it's always ready to be adhered. What did you do?
I'm just using adhesive. I'm kind of like you.
What about the corners?
What do you mean? What about the corners?
How'd you get glue all the way?
Oh, I just did as best I could.
All right. Those of you that have been here to my YouTube channel before know that I am a liquid glue hater. And it's not because it's not an amazing product. It's because I use too much. And I usually have it all over the place. So I am an adhesive girl. But the liquid glue for me worked really, really well, personally, because I could shimmy this to have that really nice border. Adhesive is Gina's choice. There's no wrong or right way. It's just a matter of preference. Okay, so that's how I did that. Obviously, I jumped ahead and I showed you that I had done all three of them. Do you see how I left this one blank?
Why'd you do that?
Oh, because I'm going to use that to my advantage. So let me grab a stamp that I had pulled out. Okay. And look at this. It's called Birthday Wishes. And this comes from the stamp set called Amazing Year. You've probably seen us use this before. Look at that font. Is that not gorgeous? I love to color personally, and this is super easy to color. So that was another one of my favorites. But I didn't want to use black ink. So pull out your basic gray. This is a great alternative when you have these softer palettes so that it's not so black on those pastel colors.
Also great for when you make baby cards.
Ooh, baby cards.
To not use...
Got something to tell me?
No. To not
That's a family joke.
To not use those dark colors, to use something a little bit lighter.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so there we go. We got Best Wishes. All right, so we've got that greeting now on the inside because remember I left the outside blank. All right, so do you remember? Oh, look at you go. Yeah, now look what you
much
did.
Faster.
All right, so what you did now is you actually used two white panels.
I did.
And how did you utilize those?
Well, I thought since I made this inside, right? I'm going to put that on the inside.
And I love how it picks
now
up the
you
color.
have an area just for writing.
Perfect.
That you have an entire area.
Okay, awesome. I'm going to let you adhere that.
Okay.
All right, so here's the card base itself. Remember we decorated that. Here is this. So I went in. We're going to do this one more time because this was the one I pre-did. And then back and forth. So we've got our accordion. Make sure they're nice and lined up. Mm-hmm. If you need to fix them, none of us are perfect. Shimmy a little bit. Go over it with your bone folder. Press down all those little raw edges. And then, before you go any further, I almost forgot, Gina. Thank goodness I saw you do that. I'm putting another layer of designer paper here.
Am I.
Because the way this panel Z fold comes out, this is going to be very visible.
Yep.
It's also a great time for you to consider using colored cardstock.
Yes.
If you don't want to use, this is such a shame to cover up, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
Oh,
but yeah, colored cardstock is great. And honestly, the only reason why I didn't use it is because I love these stars so much. Otherwise, I would have done it.
Stars.
Another great tip is if you don't want to waste, quote unquote, waste all your designer series paper.
Oh.
I love it, chop it.
Love it, chop it.
I'm on that.
Kylie
train.
Bertucci, Australia.
But if you like to conserve your designer series paper,
Not me. I chop it up.
you can cut it halfway. Because I actually did do that. I ran out of enough designer series paper to finish my card, but
and
I loved it.
You couldn't see it?
You couldn't see it. I'll show you.
I knew this was going to happen. All right. I get asked this question. How do you change it? All right. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to turn it upside down and dump it out. I already have one here that I opened. All right. I'm going to tell you right now, don't be moving the wheel. So I put this face up. And you see the little notches here? These fit down inside. Oh, Lisa, you did it backwards. It goes this way. It's always easier when no one's watching you. Why is that? Mm-hmm. And then the cover just snaps on. I get it started, and then out comes your adhesive. Quick and lickety. I love the cartridge. I knew that was going to happen while I was demoing.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Awesome. All right, so now we have to do the Z-fold, which is the best part.
We do. This is the fun part.
So I don't know how you did yours, but I'll walk through how I did mine.
Okay.
So the really important part about this entire card, which I think you would agree with, is this kind of has to be perfect.
It does.
Which is the only slightly annoying part about it, if we're going to be transparent. Mm-hmm. But once you get it, you got it.
Right.
All right. So what I did was I started with one side.
I did too.
All right.
Cool. I just started on this side.
All right. I started on the long side.
I'm telling you right now, don't be cheap with your adhesive or your liquid glue. If you're using liquid glue, don't be too close to the edges because it's going to ooze.
Okay. Now what?
I did edge and bottom.
Okay. Well, I stood mine up.
Nope.
So I can't be bothered. What I was doing.
Too old. I have a contrasting background, so maybe put a dark piece of cardstock underneath you or even your silicone craft sheet. So I'm measuring up the Z panel here to the side and the bottom, and I'm pressing this in place.
Awesome. All right. I stood mine up.
Yep.
And just measured it up.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Now, I did this side.
Then I did this side.
All right.
Okay. So we're doing good. And we just did opposite sides.
I don't think people know that we don't do this together.
No, we don't. We don't craft together. You have your own studio.
Yeah.
I got my own studio.
We learn together as we're doing it together.
Yeah. So literally as you're live with us, this is the beauty of a live stream.
I know.
You never know what's going to happen.
You never know.
All right. I am going to tell you something. You might think you can just go like this and close it up. That
No,
didn't
ma'am.
work good. So what I want you to do is I want you to line up the bottom and the left side. If you have cut and scored this correctly, you're going to have absolutely no issues. And then press that in place. Now what's going to happen is this should fold and this should open. But see, this is why I like paper all the way down.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, if you're in a skimp, I get it. But look at that.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the closure because you can see this has a little bit of a boing effect.
Yeah, so we had to make a closure.
Oh, yes, we do.
And your closure is different than mine, I see.
And because I had to use this.
That's beautiful.
This is actually rose gold and white striped ribbon. It's not getting any airtime whatsoever. But check out how beautiful it is with this paper. Remember, I did not put dimensionals in there. So all you're going to do is you're going to shimmy this across, and if necessary, you can take your pick tool and help you poke it through.
Love it.
And you're going to bring it over here to the side. Now, in your project sheet, I gave you an ample enough to go ahead and make a single loop bow.
Yep.
Now, if you don't know what a single loop bow is, I'm going to show you. So you're going to tie it as if you were going to make a regular bow. I've got a little tension right there, okay? You're going to come up like you were going to make a bow. So I've got my loop and I'm going to come around. You know how you would normally stop to make the other little bunny ear, as we used to call it?
Yeah.
Pull it all the way through. So now you have two raw ends and then you're going to pull and that gives you this really cool single loop. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you love to paper craft, this is great for those guide cards because it's not too feminine. And it's not going to be too bulky.
It's adorable.
Then, of course, you can trim these up. Now, I want to tell you one other thing. Would you grab me those glue dots over there, Gina?
Yes.
Okay. Obviously, when you untie this, it's trapped here. But I'm going to give you a little cheat. Take your glue dots, and I've got my take your pick tool here. And then once I know on the positioning, I'm doing what I call card surgery, and I'm sticking a glue dot here. You can place another one here if you'd like, which means the ribbon, when you untie it,
won't go anywhere.
Isn't going to fall all off. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trim these up and you go on and show what you're doing.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm actually going to make a belly band.
Awesome.
And I have a cheat to belly bands because why not? We like to cheat when we paper craft.
We do. Teach the easiest way.
Teach the easy. So the great thing about this card in particular is you use the entire 8.5 by 11.
Right.
And all you need is when you're done cutting the base and the Z fold, you're left with this, which is the exact size you need for your belly band. Who says you can't plan everything? So all you're going to do is, the cheat, is you're going to put it visually in the middle. All right, that's about halfway on either side, give or take. Then you're going to loosely fold it in.
Keyword.
Loosely, yeah. You don't want to make it too tight. You don't want to make it too loose because then it won't stay on. It's just snug enough so you can slide it up and down.
Right.
Okay. And then I'm going to go in with my bone folder and just make preliminary creases. Now, before we go anywhere, I'm going to bring back my image. I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive.
I see someone's already like, there's a gap there. There's a gap.
Don't worry about the gap. The gap is going to be covered.
Actually works to our advantage.
Yep. So all I'm going to do is add a little bit of adhesive. Center up my girl. Now, when you layer your silicone craft sheet, when you do something like this, you can see through it. It's going to be a little bit difficult on camera, but I can see it perfectly. So I can see the center of my card and tell that my girl is centered.
Oh, you're looking here and here, right?
Yep, I'm looking at the top and the bottom. And all I'm going to do is going to press. Now I'm going to take out that silicone craft sheet.
I can't live without this thing.
I love it. I'm going to take out my card. I'm going to open up the belly band. I'm going to slide back in the silicone craft. Thanks for being my third hand. Yeah, slide it back in, and then I'm going to add some more adhesive. Now, when we slide out the silicone craft sheet again, all we're going to do is close our girl on top.
Oh my gosh, so
now,
cute.
Give it a little boing, boing, boing.
Right.
Loosen it up a little bit. And then it's going to slide right on.
Now she's pressing it against her belly, which is one reason why you can't see it.
I am.
You know, sometimes we need that third hand, and mine's too busy moving adhesive.
Boom.
Oh my gosh, are these adorable.
They're super cute.
So I have one with the inside open so that you can see it. This was the other one. So here is that panel Z fold. Oh my gosh, you guys, wait till you see the rest of our cards. Are you ready to show them?
They're super fun.
Look at how cute. Oh, you still
I see something. I forgot about that.
That's okay because it's still easy for you to write over that because it's nice and light. Okay, so here's our first one. All right, why don't you go next?
All right, my second one is, it's not using Abigail Rose. I always say that wrong.
That's Blessings of Home.
This is Blessings, thank you.
You're welcome.
Blessings of Home. And what I love about this card is it's tone on tone. You bring it in with a little bit of bling with the gems.
So simple.
But I think people forget tone on tone is just so elegant.
Monochromatic, one color.
One color is all you need.
Oh, look at that celebration paper.
Yep. And then I use celebration paper.
I'm finding it.
It's called Gold and Silver. Silver and Gold Designer Series paper. It's double-sided. It is
you can't see
silver
it. It's metallic.
Foil
on
there.
It's so pretty.
And it's beautiful. So don't be afraid to do just monochromatic cards because this is perfect for a wedding, bridal shower.
Sympathy.
Sympathy.
Can be used for anything.
So
okay,
there's
awesome. So that's, what is that, 3?
Okay.
3. Here I go. Kindest Gnomes. Okay, so again, Gina and I both love whimsical stuff. We like the out of the ordinary projects, okay?
Do.
Guess what? This is all from the designer paper. So the coordinating dies actually die cut the designer series paper images.
No fussy cutting.
Nope. Or, of course, there's stamps that you can color. And then I die cut some of the grass. I did some blending, some splattering. I tied this one with ribbon, okay, because, you know, I have to be different, right?
Love it.
So let's go ahead and open this up. This ribbon is all part of that sweet. I love it. Same with those gems. And then here is the inside. Look at that. Isn't this adorable? I love it. And you know what's funny is I think a lot of people think that this has to be Christmas because it's in the mini catalog with the seasonal.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be.
No.
So that's that's my second one. What do you got?
All right, my last one. You saw me use this last month. But
I
just
this
love
is
it.
her favorite.
It's Apple Harvest. It is my favorite. You're going to tell that all of mine have belly bands. But
girl, you can color. That is beautiful.
Thank you. But I did do a split DSP.
Look at that.
So all I did was flip this over, and this is the beauty of the back of it.
Very nice.
When you put the belly band on it, it fully covers that.
It's beautiful.
And then on the inside, bam.
Really pretty.
It does all the work.
And I love this because this is a great masculine layout as well with these colors and this palette. It doesn't have to be a feminine card at all.
Exactly.
Love the use of those rustic metallic little gems. This
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful.
What's your last one?
No.
Oh, you have a bonus card. No, you upped me. I'm sorry.
So this is the 6th card in your project sheet. This uses a stamp set that also gets no airtime. It's called Speedy Recovery. And I don't know, Gina, you won't understand this, but at my age, you have friends that get sick and we need to send a get well card. So this is what I did with this one. So this is going to slide off. I did my belly band. I want you to notice too that I did some stamping on that belly band from that stamp set. This is all from Speedy Recovery. And look at it.
That's adorable.
So I made a little tiny bow, and because we didn't have the Poppy Parade, I actually used my Stampin' Blends markers on that white ribbon.
Amazing.
Let it dry, made a little bow.
Yep.
This stamp set is gorgeous because all the shading is there for you. Just add a little bit of color to it. And I'll tell you what, I really kind of like the weight of this card. But since it's my birthday, I get to kind of up the game. We see that you're asking for birthday cards. We know. Or sorry, Christmas cards. Okay, so here we go. Here's your first Christmas card. So I used a brand new suite of products. Let me pull it out. And this is in the mini catalog. It's called Sweet Gingerbread. I also don't think this is getting much airtime yet. It has gingerbread house dies. Oh my gosh, I'm totally in love with this because it's so whimsical and cute. And by the way, you don't have to use it for Christmas. Make some.
It makes a house.
Yeah, make some house. You could turn this into a tree with a little, I mean, fantastic. So here we go. I used this smoke to hold my greeting. Look at the dies. Did you see that? Look at, there's a fence. There's a snowbank. This was so easy to do.
Oh, they can't tell you used Winkostella there.
Oh, you noticed. Thank you. So I put a little Winkostella along the edge. I don't know if you can see that shimmer, but here comes the inside.
All right, you showed me up tonight.
I know. And you can't see the details around the window and in the house because of the camera. But yeah, you can't steal the show all the time, honey. I don't know what to tell you. So all right, so here are our cards.
All right.
All right, so don't go away because we have lots more fun coming up. And don't forget about your project sheet.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're here watching the replay, grab that project sheet down in the comments below. We also want to make sure that you know about the next live.
Yes.
Now, for those of you watching the replay, if you want to go, we get it. We hope those that are with us live will stick around because we've got the live Q&A. We've got viewer handmade birthday cards for more inspiration. We're going to have a little bit of fun with you. Yeah, have a little bit of fun. So do me a favor, head over to lisastampstudio.com. If it's your first time there, click on rewards. We offer exclusive and generous rewards for your orders using our host code. In addition to that, you can check out my very vast PDF tutorial library, which, by the way,
we're giving one away for free
today with a $25 product order using our host code. But I am going to be back with you live next week, and you're not going to want to miss it. I'm just saying. It's going to be on next Monday. I'm switching slides for you. It is Monday, August 1st. August.
I know. What happened to this year?
Crazy, isn't it? So I want to make sure that you come back to visit me. When you're over on my website, go all the way to the bottom. You'll see the word subscribe. Click that because I want you to sign up for the free weekly e-newsletter.
Yes.
I provide a tutorial in there, not shared on any of my other platforms, and it's no frills. I would love to have you join us. While you're here on YouTube, that thumbs up here
helps us.
Oh, so much. So do us a favor. If you had fun with us so far this evening, click that. For those of you that are sticking around for the Q&A,
it's time to have some fun.
It's time to have some fun. So go ahead and start putting some questions in the comments.
We got something to share.
Oh, we do have something to share.
It's your birthday.
Okay.
And one of our viewers sent us amazing cheesecakes. Thank you, Arlene Traeger.
Arlene Traeger. Oh my gosh.
Look at these.
So I want to say it was around lunchtime. Yeah. The doorbell rang, and I was on the phone. Surprise. And I couldn't get to the door. Next thing I know, my phone, I had another call coming in, and I got an email, a text message.
Yep.
Edible Arrangements is outside trying to make a delivery. So I caught him.
They're beautiful.
These are mini cheesecakes. We got a half a dozen of them.
We've already eaten some. We didn't bring forks to start now.
No, but
they're amazing.
Oh my gosh.
And they're beautiful.
Okay.
And
incredible.
I have a little bit of your birthday celebration because I get to eat them too.
So thank you, Arlene. But the other part of what we want to share with you is the beautiful handmade cards that people have sent. You guys inspire me.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and turn that camera down. I'm going to let Gina clean the mess out of the way that we have made. And
here we go.
Can only see what
Keep those questions coming in too.
Okay,
so we'll answer those.
First card, I'm going to look because I'm not going to divulge the inside whole names just to keep our viewers' privacy.
Yeah.
This is from Benita.
I love
and you're going to notice she used that beautiful texture background after she stamped it. So the texture is on top of the stamped image. Some beautiful adhesive back sequins. I love that multi.
Check out that stamp set.
I wonder who made that stamp set. That's Charming Sentiments. That's the bundle I designed for my $1 million set. This one is from Jeannie. Look at this. So Jeannie used the garden greenhouse, which of course is now retired.
Yeah, but it's beautiful.
Love the use of her frame here. And look at the pattern paper she used for all the greenery. Love it. This is heat embossed. All right, let's see who this next one's from. This one is from Ginger. Oh my goodness. Is this not adorable?
I love it.
I love these pieces together. When whimsical meets whimsical, it never is a loss. So don't miss mixing and matching your stamp sets and the pieces that you have. Absolutely adorable. All right, this next one is from Debbie. Debbie is on my stamping team. She's been with me a long time. Again, Charming Sentiments there, but look at that little ladybug trinket. Again, look at the colors, just really, really vibrant. For those of you that would love to be a part of my stamping team, I would love to have you join me. There's actually a special right now for the custom starter kit. You can choose any $125 in product of your choice, pay $99, and Stampin' Up! Is going to throw in a stamp set and planner and journals absolutely free. And the shipping of your kit's free too. Yep. If you want more information, head over to my website.
Wow, look at that.
Okay, I got to look. This one came from Verna. Okay, so a 5x7 card.
It's lovely.
Stunning. Recognize the stamp set?
I do.
It's the same one we just used. Monochromatic, one color. But I wish I could show you this. She put that bookmarker I taught a couple weeks ago on the inside. She made sure she double enforced it so it's really nice and strong. You can't see it, but Verna used a gel sparkly pen that matches the paper.
She thought of everything.
Get out. That's amazing. All right, this one came from Diane. She's also on my stamping team. You're going to be ready for this, my friends, because this screen card, I'm copying this idea, and I'm going to teach it to you in an upcoming video. Diane has some really great tips she's sharing with me that I can't wait to share with you. Oh my gosh, the zen on this is amazing. All right, this next one came from Arlene Traeger. If those cheesecakes weren't enough, Arlene sent me the card a couple days before, but I want you to get an aerial view of this. When I opened this, I squealed with delight. Look at
Wow.
this. So she took a gatefold and she upped it a notch by making extended panels on the front and the side.
Wow.
And you'll notice that one hides behind the
That's
other.
so fun.
I mean, seriously, my friends, you guys don't make me look bad. Absolutely incredible. All right, next one came from, I have to look, this came from Sue.
Oh, wow.
I know. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah,
This is the
gorgeous.
papaya. I love how she used that decorative stamp set with a couple daubers to get multiple colors, little bit of ribbon, little bit of bling, emboss multiple layers of the same color.
Beautiful.
So striking. All right, this next one is from Trudy. Okay, I gotta
love the
tell you,
ladybugs.
how can you not love a ladybug? We
Fun.
we taught this fold before.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of fun. Love how she used the inverted side
Smart.
of the embossed cardstock and mixed and matched what she had, and you cannot go wrong with this card. All right, this one, just a few more. This one comes from Maureen.
Oh, wow.
I have to tell you, I held this card and I touched this card. It is completely flat. The glitter is between the panes of the fishbowl.
Wow.
So you think you're
can't-
going to touch it and glitter's going to
Yeah.
fall off, and it doesn't. It is absolutely stunning. I wish you were here to feel this. It's grainy. Feel that. It feels like
Wow.
bamboo.
Oh,
Isn't
that's
that cool?
cool.
I love it. Great, great card. Now, these last two just came. Bob the Builder brought them in from the mailbox. This one
Wow.
came from Sandra.
Striking.
Look at that background and just a intricate die cut over the top. Little bit of bling because you can never go wrong.
Love it.
Love, love, love. And this last one is from Tammy.
Aw.
Tammy is on our team as
Yeah,
well.
love that.
Okay, Tammy, you outdid yourself. Look at all this. This is so speaks to me. Just can you
Yeah.
have too much bling?
I mean,
Too many dots?
you don't think so?
No, you can't. I think it's stunning. And
It's beautiful.
Tammy knows that red and black are
Are
my
your favorite.
color combinations of all time.
I
So
love that.
thank you all for these absolutely beautiful cards. All right.
All right, let's do some questions.
Okay, we got to change screens though.
All right, I got it. All right, here we go.
Okay, awesome.
All right, this is from Becky.
Okay, hi Becky.
There are 2 weights to the basic white paper. When do I use the heavy weight paper?
Excellent question.
Mhm.
I love the thick basic white for my card bases because
Yep.
it's so nice and strong. When you're doing a fun fold like the Z panel I just taught you, I liked it better than the basic white
Right.
because it just was more stable on the bottom so that you can actually display it. I also love it when I use the Stampin' Blends markers, to be quite honest with you. And it's really a matter of preference. But for me, card bases, all the way, a win with thick basic white.
All right, awesome. And then Cheryl said, Gina, what did you use on the Halloween card? What DSP?
Okay.
That is Celebrate Everything on the inside as well. It's just another piece inside that whole package. Sorry, I didn't mention that.
That's
but
fine.
yes.
By the way, if you're looking for Celebrate Everything, it is a host exclusive product, which means if you place a $150 order or more, you can choose it with your Stampin' Rewards. And please remember that Lisa Stamp Studio rewards are over and above the rewards that Stampin' Up provides for you. That's the only way you can get that Celebrate Everything designer paper.
All right, Bonnie asked, what are the new gnomes called?
Kindest Gnomes.
All
So you'll be
right.
able to find that. There's a whole suite called Storybook Gnomes. It's in the current mini catalog.
Awesome. I'm just seeing if I can find so many happy birthdays, and I love what you shared.
Oh, I'm so glad you guys like the
All
cards.
right,
That
you're gonna
means an
like
awful
this
lot.
one. What is your favorite kind of cake from Donna? Chocolate.
Of course, I'm a chocolate freak.
Chocolate freak.
Chocolate freak.
I've never met anybody who loves chocolate as much as you.
I know, and I always say it should be a food group. I'm just saying.
Do you have a favorite type of chocolate cake?
No, just as long as it's chocolate. As long as it's got chocolate in it. And so when Arlene's cheesecakes came and I saw they had chocolate chips with strawberries, I'm like, how could you make cheesecake any better by adding chocolate? It was just
so
incredible.
funny.
Yeah, love chocolate. Chocolate, chocolate, chocolate.
You also love like chocolate mousse cake too.
I just chocolate. It could be cake, it could be a brownie, it could be a cookie. This is why I don't bake anymore and I don't keep it in my house. So thank you for sending those cheesecakes, Arlene.
All right. Jillian asked, what is your all-time
Oh.
favorite stamp set? You have 24 years of stamp sets, so.
That is super hard. So there was a stamp set 24 years ago called Just a Line. And I would have to say that was my first
Really?
favorite because that's what made me fall in love with Stampin' Up! Products. Long gone by now. And you're probably asking, do I still have it? No, and I kind of wish I would have saved it. My favorite all-time stamp set, and I really, really hate to say this, but I'm really in love with Charming Sentiments. And not because I designed it, but because it has truly become the most used bundle here
Yeah.
in the studio. Because the coordinating dies to the greetings, I just find
I
it's
agree.
my go-to. And I'm just really sorry that I designed it because I wish I wouldn't have. And then if I said it didn't sound biased, does that make sense? But I really, right? I have to say that.
I think that
that's
is my current, but
your
before
go-to.
that, it's free as a bird.
Free as a bird.
I love
you
Free
can,
as a
and now
Bird.
it's Apple Harvest.
But it's because it's the same artist.
It is.
The same
It is.
artist
I
did
don't
it.
know what. I love so
love it.
many stamps. That's why I gotta have them all.
All right. Lynn said, "How long have you been paper crafting?"
For me, it'll be 25 years in the spring. So I'm celebrating my 24th anniversary with Stampin' Up in September, which means you are also been stamping.
24 years.
She was 5 years old when I became a demonstrator, and she's been stamping alongside of me ever since.
Yep. I did have a little break, so I think you did.
Well, college. I mean, a couple years.
But that's a long time.
Definitely.
All right, we got another great question from Dashira. What would be a great way to get started to sell Stampin' Up?
Oh, Dashira, that is an awesome question. Well, first of all, sign up with the starter kit, and I would love to have you on my team. In addition to having a huge community of stampers all over the United States, everywhere from Guam to Puerto Rico, we are all really closely related as far as sharing and just encouraging one another. Number two, we offer a great training program for demonstrators. Please don't misunderstand. We don't spoon feed you, but we provide you with the knowledge that you need in order to build a business, whether that's in person or online. But you have to buy the starter kit, become a demonstrator in order to get started. And after that, you have to determine how you want your business to grow. Do you want it to be a face-to-face business where you're teaching people in person?
Yep.
Or do you want it to be online? And Gina will tell you, this is not something that happens right away. Yeah. This is 24 years of hard work because I love what I do.
You got to love it. I think another great thing, at least with us, that you could take whether you're on our team or not on our team is we have a demonstrator training program called Stamp to Success. And if you're brand spanking new at stamping, the novice course really goes through absolutely everything. So you want to check that out, stamptosuccess.com.
Yep.
You can even get a little bit more information about what it takes to grow a Stampin' Up business if you don't want it to just be a hobby.
Yeah, that's the short version. Obviously, I could talk about this forever because it was the best thing I ever did.
All right. So Kathy said, what die cutting machine do you use?
Stampin' Cut and Bust machine, of course.
You have the big and the small.
And I bought the mini when it was half price, and it was the best thing I ever did. And I wondered why I waited so long.
I try to tell you.
Okay, she has both.
I have both.
I will tell you, I use them both. I didn't think I would, but I love them. I'll tell you why I think this is the best machine on the market. I know many people have told me I love an electric machine because I don't want to crank. Listen, I get it. I have basal joint arthritis. It's very painful. But I live in Florida. That means if you lose power or you're traveling, you don't need an outlet, okay? You can craft anytime that you want. The rollers in it are fantastic. The entire platform system is numbered. It's easy to put sandwiches together. Stampin' Up's dies and its embossing folders, the quality is top-notch. You will not be sorry. As a matter of fact, you can add it to your starter kit if you wanted to.
All right. Tania said, why do I mess up my stamp and seal all the time?
Okay. You're not alone. You're not alone. Okay, so Tania, maybe we could do a down camera.
Let me do that.
Okay, so let me just do this. I'm going to grab from the garbage can.
And if you got to go, friends, you can definitely go.
Yeah, remember, this is just something special tonight. We normally don't do this. First of all, don't skimp. Use your silicone craft sheet. The biggest mistake we all make is we try to compare this to other adhesives and we hold it wrong, okay? I've seen people hold it like this. I can't do it because look what happens.
It rips, yeah.
I have really very little strength down here, okay? So let me show you what I do. I hold it this way and make sure that the roller is in contact with the paper, and I'm very, very slightly lifting it. But I want you to see where the bottom of this dispenser is.
Right.
It's almost dragging on the table, okay? Then when you go to stop it, I kind of just pull a little bit because you need to break it. This is the Stampin' Seal Plus, which means it comes out in little tabs, and it's my personal favorite. Yours?
Yeah, hands down.
The Stampin' Seal is actually dotted versus tabbed. It's a little bit easier to dispense, but truly it's a learning curve. If you have any trouble with the tape backing up on itself, just contact your demonstrator who sold it to you, and she'll be happy to get your replacement through Stampin' Up. It should not be defective.
Yeah.
But it is a learning curve.
Yeah.
And because of my arthritis, I like to get it just started here on my silicone craft sheet because that just helps me to dispense it because I don't have to pull as hard. But this is a fantastic adhesive because it's so nice and strong.
All right, we got some more questions.
Okay, and again, if you have to go, we get it.
All
We get it.
Samantha said, what's your favorite colors? So
My
more than one.
Okay, my favorite color is red, by far. Favorite Stampin' Up color, that varies. Calypso Coral seems to be a very big favorite. Real Red happens to be a big favorite. I love Mango Melody. Of course, black above everything, and then probably Crumb Cake.
That's good. My favorite color overall is blue. Love blue. Cerulean to be exact on the blue.
Wow.
Stampin' Up blue, Tahitian Tide, Pacific Point, Bermuda Bay. Other colors outside of the blue spectrum, Granny Apple Green.
That's a good one.
Yeah, anything bright and cheery. I love bright and cheery.
Awesome. Awesome. Should we take just maybe 2 more?
Let's do 2 more.
Okay. Gina's scrolling for some of those questions.
We got a lot of happy birthdays.
You know, I actually saw a question pop up. Do you get to design again for your 2 million? The answer is no. You only get to design a stamp set for your first $1 million in sales. So this is it. One and done.
One and done. All right. Let me see.
Good question.
A lot of happy birthdays, but I'm not getting them.
Oh, thank you for the birthday wishes. I really, really appreciate it. And we love hanging out with you, and we hope that you're enjoying the Q&A. This is something we just recently started, and if you would like us to continue, please let us know. We're very cognizant of those that come for the replay. We know that sometimes they just want to get the information and leave. So we do this at the end in order to accommodate those of you that are here with us on the live chat, and we appreciate your time.
All right, last question, and we'll end it all.
Oh, that's easy for me.
All right, glue or tape, which is better? There's not one better.
No, that's true. There isn't a better.
But we're glue. Or tape.
I'm tape.
Tape.
I'm
tape.
I'm team tape.
I don't know why I said glue.
Liquid glue is only because, excuse me, it's only because I use too much and I am messy with it.
But it's really necessary on some projects.
Absolutely, especially when you've got angled cuts or mitered corners all the way. So you got to have both of them. There isn't a better. It's just a matter of preference.
All right. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us for our birthday celebration. Happy birthday.
Thank you, sweetheart. Don't forget to come back and join me live on Monday when I will be here with you on August 1st. You're not going to want to miss it. It's really simple, but it's going to teach you a really awesome technique. Thank you all for the well wishes, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great, blessed day. Bye-bye.
Bye, friends.